Okay, we've all been there. You need to get something copied. Maybe it's really important, urgent even, and you walk up to that machine in the corner.
The photocopier.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And nothing happens. Or maybe you get weird noises, a blinking light.
Yeah, the dreaded blinking red light. It's almost a universal office sign for frustration.
It really is. It can just stop your whole workflow dead in its tracks. A real physical roadblock.
Uh-huh. And that's what we're diving into today. We've got this whole stack of sources all focused on this specific kind of office drama, the photocopier malfunction.
Right, we've got dialogue, like pulled from a situation just like that, plus vocabulary breakdowns, useful phrases, and even some history and mechanics of the machine itself.
So the mission today is basically to unpack all of that,
Hmm.
pull out the key stuff, the insights, and give you a sort of shortcut to understanding this, well, surprisingly common issue.
Think of it as your guide through the paper jams of knowledge, maybe?
I like that, helping you see past those blinking lights, understand the machine, and, the language that pops up around it.
Okay, so let's jump straight into that scenario the sources lay out. It starts with someone, Coral, needing a copy of a contract ASAP.
ASAP,
Yeah,
as soon as possible, that classic urgency.
exactly. Sets the scene perfectly. He goes to make the copy, and, well, first thought, did I break it?
Happens all the time. But no, it turns out the copier is just out of toner.
Ah, out of toner. And that's just the start, right? He has to find another one. And the sources really lean into that feeling of, like, everything breaking down.
Yeah, it snowballs. Because then, to make it worse, the elevator's broken too.
Oh, man. So now someone's facing, what, a 15-floor climb? Just to find another copier?
15 floors. That's when you start thinking, like, the character in the source, is this some kind of practical joke?
You really would. And the sources define practical joke pretty well, don't they?
Yeah, it's doing something, deliberately funny to someone. Like their example of moving someone's office furniture onto a football field.
Which is pretty extreme. But yeah, a broken copier and a broken elevator starts to feel almost targeted, doesn't it?
It can feel personal when tech fails you like that. Okay, so this whole frustrating scene introduces a lot of key terms and phrases that the sources dig into. Maybe start with the machine itself.
Good idea. So the sources are clear. It's a photocopier, a machine for making copies of documents. Pretty straightforward.
Uh-huh. And they mention the shorter names we all use. Copier, copy machine.
Right. And then there's that really interesting bit about calling it a Xerox machine.
Oh, yeah, that's fascinating. The sources explain Xerox wasn't just a brand. They were the brand that actually invented and patented the original tech.
So the name just stuck, like Kleenex for tissues or Google for searching.
Exactly. Brand name becomes the generic term. Another key word from that scenario.
Toner.
Ah, yes, toner. The sources are specific here. It's that fine black powder, or sometimes color powder.
And they make a point of saying it's powder, not ink. That's an important distinction.
Right, because it works differently. It's like fused onto the paper with heat, isn't it? Not liquid ink soaking in. Precisely. And linked to things not working, the central problem was a malfunction.
The sources break that word down nicely, too. Mal, meaning bad or not, and function, meaning working, so.
Not working properly. Simple as that. It's the more formal way of saying something's, well, broken down.
Which brings us to that phrase itself, broke down.
Yeah, the sources define that clearly. When a machine breaks down, it just stops working. Like
What-
the copier, like the elevator.
But what's interesting is how the sources point out that changing the little word after break totally changes the meaning.
It's a great example of how English works, right? So you have breakdown for machines.
But break up for relationships ending.
Or break in, like forcing your way into a building.
And break out, maybe escaping from somewhere like jail.
Exactly. Same verb, break, but those little prepositions, up, in, out, give completely different meanings.
It's quite neat how language does that. Okay, let's circle back to some other phrases from that dialogue. We mentioned ASAP already.
Right, as soon as possible. Super common for anything urgent. And the sources note, you can say it like ASAP, spelling it out.
Or just as one word, ASAP. Either way, it means hurry.
Definitely signals urgency. Another good one from the sources is never mind.
Oh, yeah, that's useful. How did the sources explain that one?
It's basically for retracting something you just said or asked for. Like, oh, I thought I lost my wallet, but never mind, here it is.
Okay, so it cancels the previous thing. Like if you asked for milk but then saw some in the fridge.
Exactly. Can you get milk? Oh, wait, never mind, we have some.
Yeah.
Or like in the dialogue, if the printer's broken, maybe, never mind, I'll do it later. It's a quick forget that.
Very handy for correcting yourself in conversation. Then there's that pattern. out of noun.
Yeah, simple but important. It just means you have none left. The copier was out of toner,
No toner remaining. And the other examples?
out of milk, out of time, out of gas, or out gasoline. Same idea. You've run out completely.
Got it. A clear way to state a lack of something. And the last phrase the sources highlighted was on your way direction place.
This one's really practical. It means while you are going somewhere, you use it to ask someone to do a small task for you during their journey.
Like the examples they gave. On your way up, can you drop this at HR? Assuming up means going upstairs via elevator. Or stairs, in that case.
Huh, right. Or, on your way to the store, could you mail this letter?
Combining errands.
Or maybe the slightly more hopeful, on your way home, can you buy me some flowers? Definitely leveraging someone else's trip. So yeah, the sources give us that snapshot of the office mini-drama and the language around it, but then they zoom out, right, to the machine's story.
Yeah, the history is actually pretty interesting. Before photocopiers, the sources remind us copying meant handwriting.
Ugh, imagine writing out every single report multiple times. Or class notes.
It must have taken forever. But then came Chester Carlson. He invented the basic technology xerography, they called it, back in 1938.
It's xerography. But it wasn't quite ready for prime time yet. The big moment, according to the sources, was 1959.
Right. When Haywood Xerox, there's that name again, developed the first really practical modern photocopier. And the sources say it changed the world.
You can see why. Suddenly, duplicating documents was fast and easy. And of course, modern machines are way more advanced now.
Oh, yeah. Color copies, scanning features, sending documents digitally. They've evolved a lot.
But the basic idea, how it works, is still kind of similar. The sources give a simple version.
Yeah, like put the paper on the glass.
Machine shines a light,
Light creates an image, uses that toner powder.
crinks it onto new paper, and out comes your copy.
Basically capturing and recreating the image. Simple concept, complex machine, and they're everywhere, right?
Yeah.
The sources list the main places.
Yep, schools, teachers, copying handouts, offices, reports, memos, everything.
Yeah.
Libraries copying pages from books, even the little copy shops where you pay per page.
They really are essential tools in lots of places.
Absolutely. Which leads to the pros and cons the sources lay out.
Okay, the advantages seem obvious. Saving time, saving effort.
Definitely. No more handwriting, everything. And you get clear, identical copies. They just help businesses and schools run more smoothly.
But the downsides, we started there, didn't we?
We did. They break down. That's the big one. Plus, they need supplies, paper, that expensive toner, electricity.
And they can waste a lot of paper if people aren't careful.
Right. So there's that constant tension. Incredibly useful, but potentially frustrating.
To avoid the frustration, the sources offer some care tips. Pretty basic stuff, really.
Yeah, like using good quality paper and toner, keeping the glass clean,
Don't try to jam too much paper in at once. Don't overload it.
and maybe turn it off when it's not being used for a while. Save some energy. Simple maintenance,
Could save you that 15-floor climb later.
hopefully. Now, the sources also had those nice personal touches near the end, didn't they? The chat section.
Oh, yeah, the anecdotes. One speaker mentioned feeling like they break every electronic thing they touch.
Huh. I think some people feel that way. Very relatable.
And the other speaker had family and the business uncles who were actually copy technicians.
Right. Fixing the machines, replacing the toner, living that Xerox history firsthand.
It kind of brings it full circle, doesn't it? Connects
Yeah.
the history and the tech back to the real people who keep these things running.
Yeah, it makes that out-of-toner message feel a bit less random, more like part of the machine's life cycle needing that human intervention.
So starting from that moment of pure office frustration,
We've gone through the language, the ASAP, and the
never mind. Looked at the history, how Chester Carlson and Xerox changed things.
touched on how they actually work with the light and the toner.
Considered where we use them, the pros, the cons, how to maybe treat them a bit better.
It shows how this one everyday object connects to so much technology, language, even just shared human experiences of things working or not working.
Definitely. They can be annoying, but they're still incredibly useful tools.
No doubt about it. And the sources leave us with a final thought, a question for you, the listener.
Right. How many times have you actually used a photocopier? And thinking back, was it mostly easy or was it difficult?
It's a good question. Because knowing how to use one, properly, that's actually a pretty useful skill for work, for school.
Yeah.
It's stuck around.
It really has. Something to think about next time you find yourself standing in front of one, hopefully, one that's working properly.